Hey everyone, and welcome to week number 3 of the AlphaX Apprentice. As always, I'll be covering Group A. I'm your caster this afternoon, Renegade. In the bottom left, we have our purple Zerg, Melody. And in the top right, as the pink Zerg, it's Damrud. Now you may be looking at the bracket and going, wait a minute, Melody versus Damrud, that's illegal! So we have a couple of Melody replays to catch up on, so we're going to be following her run through the tournament thus far in weeks 1 and 2, and then we're going to cast all of week 3 this afternoon. So if you're unfamiliar with the tournament format, it's going to be best of 5s all the way through. There's a 7-week group stage. Performance in the group stage determines whether you are seeded into Group S, Group A, or if you are eliminated from the Apprentice Season 4. Hatch gas pool from both players. We're not going to see any early, well, early is a relative term in ZVZ, but we're not going to see any super early game ling aggression here. No larva being stacked on the hatchery for even a few lings worth of aggression, so probably going to see 4 scouting lings. Bibs 40, this is casted from blind replay, so I pull these from a Google Drive. I don't know the outcome, I don't know the results. And then I report the results, and they go on Liquipedia. That's why, if you check out the bracket, you'll see Melody has no current score. Do not know the winners of the matches or the individual games. Melody gets her 3rd down a little bit earlier than her opponent, although 237 is pretty standard. So I think Melody a little bit delayed there on drone, but she's gonna more than make up for it. Damrud and his opponent both drop Baneling nests in a little bit different locations. So Damrud's positioning, like, you can hook the queen back here and the lings have to run through the mineral field or around this way. Melody going for a more wall-off style. Damrud's going to be our aggressor, it looks like, with 18 lings on the way. Melody getting a mix of workers and fighting units. There it is. Damrud going for Spire behind this, so maybe a heavy link pressure into Mutalisk play is in the works. In the meantime, Melody gets her wall off. It's morphing in a ton of Banelings. Ooh. She decisively cancels the Roachborn. Moves it a little bit. Here come the Banelings. Those were 2 tremendous connections. 3rd tremendous connection, but it's still not enough to save the hatchery. However, this was a pretty big investment from Damrud. The worker count looks even, but it's really not. Melody had workers out first. Melody going on a counterattack. She feels she needs to do damage, given that she lost the 3rd. Well, 2 queens is a nice start. Here come the Banelings. Melody barrels the Banelings into the drone line. Only about 4 went down there. She does not have enough lings to crack the nut that is Damrud's defense, so she's going to back out for now. All told, Melody, slight drone advantage. heavy army supply advantage. Third isn't up, but that doesn't really matter because we're not seeing any oversaturation. Melody can even get out a few more drones and still be okay. Damrod is going for the Spire play. This is something I've seen him do a lot in ZVZ. Sometimes it works out, but if his opponent, you know, goes for a roach timing or something, this kind of ends up being a trap that he falls into. However, Melody is, if she sends out these roaches at all, is going to be hitting much, much, much later in the game than you really want these roach floods to hit. Damrod getting up a Spine Forest. This definitely can work. But did he throw them down early enough? I don't know that he did. Still 2 Banelings trapped in behind the roaches on purpose so that they don't get picked off by individual lings. And this is beautiful play from Melody. Absolutely outstanding micro. As she now guns down the spines, there's no lings left to shield for these guys. Meta are in production, but Melody just has too much here. So this now becomes a game of... In the top left corner of Simulacrum, as the pink Zerg, he's down but not out. It's Damrod. In the bottom right corner, as the purple Zerg with the first point on the board, in this best of 5, she's Melody. So, Damrod opening with a pool first. Classic Zerg best of 5 strategy. Lose game number 1, go pool first game number 2. Damrod didn't quite have his Ling aggression into Spire work out despite picking off Melody's third. Melody is gonna go hatch first. I mean, Zergs by a while ago, I mean like a couple years ago, figured out, hey, you know, my opponent goes pool first. It's actually totally holdable, especially if they expand behind it, which Damrod is going to do one of 2 things. He is either going to Spine Crawler Rush, or he's going to expand behind this. Given that he's getting a queen, I'm gonna make a bold claim and say that he's going to expand. So he sends the drone out to the natural. Bib says, but Melody, if you're here, who's controlling her Zerg? It's magic. Yeah, it's magical powers. Melody has her pool at around 80% completion. You're gonna see these lings tap into the nat. Melody is gonna be looking for this creep. She's not gonna see it. She is gonna see the queen, which, I mean, this is a non-standard move by Damrod to pull this down to the low ground. But Melody has not seen whether or not there's a hatch. Okay, she's gonna blind pull a significant chunk of drone line, not half a drone line. This is like 2/3. As the lings pop, so the lings are gonna try and fight with the drones. You have to be super careful when you're microing this. She's using the drones to cut off a couple lings at a time and then pick them off in the back with her lings. The queen is popped. This makes this a lot more defensible than Melody has held. So it looks like about 5 workers lost there. I don't think she lost any lings. But 2 queens, the natural saved, if softened up. It's going to be okay here for a purple Zerg, and everything else is pretty much even except for ling speed. So what Damrod sacrificed here to get this damage done is the gas. He still doesn't have a geyser 3 minutes and 20 seconds into this game, which means for a very long time, he's going to be disadvantaged. Like, what do you even... You're just stuck on slow link tech. You can't get roaches, you can't get a lair, you can't get any upgrades, you can't get +1 melee, like... It's this huge bottleneck in our pink Zerg's tech. Melody is going to have the advantage for quite a while here. Link speed on the field for... And she scouted it. She saw there were no geysers anywhere. So, you know, the world is her oyster right now. She can drone up the Stirred. She can go for Link Flood. She can get Banelings. She can go into Roaches. But it looks like she's opting to get a Lair. So Melody goes up to 4 gas. Damrud getting up a full wall. I guess not a full wall, technically. I mean, like, it's a full wall with 4 queens out on the map, for sure. Okay, he's gonna go for a 3rd. This is like an eclectic mix of things. This could go a bunch of different ways. Alright, he's gonna get +1, and that probably means roach speed on the Warren as soon as Lair finishes. Melody goes right into Spire. Already over 400 gas in the bank. We're the purple Zerg, or pink Zerg, scrambling to catch up. There's the lair finished. I think Damrud's best option here, I mean, if he is going to go for the roach attack, is to pull the queens with it. Especially with the Spire finished in a matter of seconds for Melody. Nine Meta in production. +1 started at the Spire, so this is going to be somewhat sustained from Melody. Damrud does have all his overlords back towards the edge of his creep. Well, not all of them, but most of them. Okay, he sees the Muna move out. They're not going to turn around and pick it off. Going to go zoom zoom. Damrud sending out the roaches. He's not bringing the queens with him. He is going to go for the spores back home, so this isn't 100% committal to the attack. Roach speed is finished, +1 is finished as well. First roach has fallen. Melody doesn't have that much on the ground. This can work. This can definitely work. She didn't get the Spine Forest either. Okay, this is Damrud's one shot, one opportunity, and he's making good use of it. About 5 drones picked off, okay. The entire hatch goes down. Drones being cut down in the main as well. It's about another 6 kills. Spire's being targeted, and it looks like Damrud's going to get the kill there as well. Damrud kind of like bluffing his way to victory here. Maybe. I mean, this was a lot of damage. Melody did take the top right corner hatch before this attack even started, but she's down 6 drones. However, Damrud needs to get some more spores up here this amount of Muta can just overwhelm that Spore Crawler. Luckily for him, Melody was just patrolling at the edge of creep. She found, like, the other Overlord that was out on the map. Damrod has transitioned into Hydra. Pure Hydra. When you have Pure Hydra like this, they can be really vulnerable to Banelings if Melody chooses to go that route. There's no roaches to shield for these little guys. I feel like on paper, Damrod should not be in this game. But like it's like he's playing a hand of poker and he has like a 2 and a 4 and then like a 7. And he's like, "Alright. I'm gonna raise you, Melody." And Melody's like, sure. Why not? It's like, yes, I'm technically still in this game. But somehow he had a card up his sleeve. He swapped those out, and now he's going for like ace highs, you know? This is going to be really hard for the Mutalisk to engage, but like I mentioned earlier, these guys are very vulnerable to Banelings, and Melody now has Banelings. She's doing exactly what she needs to do, forcing the Hydra to reposition as the Mutas engage. Ooh, 2 full energy queens go down. That's going to significantly reduce the transfuse. Look at the Baneling hits. Absolutely beautiful play from Melody. The Hydra are going to regroup, but like, I mean, the Muta can engage this. They're just going to take a few losses. The Baneling Nest is picked off, but Melody morphs in 3 more Banelings before that happens. And hey, the Baneling Nest, not the most expensive building to remake at this stage of the game. Perhaps more importantly... Oh, no. Baneling speed finished up. Look at that. So barely anything lost from that. And 3 Banelings kill all the rest of the Hydra for Damrod. And Damrod isn't on the healthiest economy, relatively speaking. He's down a base. He's just now getting out several of these drones, so he was on like 33 workers for a very long time. He's up to 39. He's gonna do the best he can to hold this third, and I mean, sure, this is enough Hydra to hold the third, but as soon as this Baneling Nest gets up, and as soon as the Banelings start rolling once again for Melody, it's gonna be a tough time for Damrod. I think Damrod might be well served by an Infestor play. He got up a Nidus. Interesting. He's gonna have to run a Changeling across because I don't think he gets even like a Speed Overlord, even a Speed Overseer across with Melody's creep, Overlord spread, and control of the airways. But it looks like he's not even gonna bother. Oh god. He's gonna try to pick off this top right corner base. But again, here comes Speed Banelings. Mute in the air are just gonna straight up engage this at this point. Melody knows how much of an economic lead she has. And now so does Damrod. GG corner of Eternal Empire. As the Teal Protoss, it's exiled. And in the bottom left, as the Purple Zerg, here in our Week 2 match, it's Melody. I love some fresh ZVP in the morning. I mentioned this a couple times, but if you're watching on YouTube, this is played on the old patch, as are all our games today, but week number 4 and onwards will be on the new patch. And the new pool, I do believe. Actually, I need to check about the new pool, but definitely new patch. So, no shield battery overcharge shenanigans. Creep tumors are a lot healthier, and banelings hit just a little bit harder against non-light units. Hey guys. This one seems a little more pixelated than the other sprays. Melody, yeah, I'll link you my YouTube. It's gonna be a couple weeks before this one goes up. Speed started for the Zerg, exiled with your standard wall off in the natural. Double Adept Opener here for exiled. He's definitely going to want to get a couple drone kills. Now, at the time this game was played, it was still pretty in vogue to go into Resonating Glaives. We have a third Adept, so that's definitely a possibility. Going to be looking out for that Twilight Council as well as a Robo. Stalker on the way as well to try the limit Zerg Scouting, but Stalker, no. Zerg Scouting is... Oh man. Zergling got straight up baited by this Chad probe. That probe was like the guy that slacks on the job and totally gets away with it, like at the last moment. This goes through like a terrible misadventure. Comes out okay in the end. Yeah, so this is, okay damage for Exiled. He's gonna blink out. He's gonna get the kill on this Overlord as well. Quite a few Lings got picked off. What has Melody scouted? Okay, so, Melody's first scouting expedition with the Zergling didn't go too well. Second scouting expedition did not go well. Why do I say that? Well, the first tech building was not seen. It was not seen at all. It's not going to be Resonating Glaives from Exiled. He is going for DTs. Normally, when you go for DTs, you want that Twilight Council down a little bit earlier than he got it. But, hey, better late than never. Robotics facility finished. It's going to pump out a Warp Prism. Hopefully, that Prism will be in place as the Dark Shrine finishes. Melody getting up safety spores, though. They're under development as well. Get those juicy Overseers. And a Baneling Nest. Melody, beautifully positioned Scouting Ling, sees the Prism move out, sees the direction it's going, and will have as many units as she can muster ready to respond. I feel like at this point, Exiled maybe should have just gone directly into a double Archon drop. But hey, he picked off a Queen, a couple Lings as well. Wait, did... Oh no, he just had 3 DTs, right? No, 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 he lost a DT! He lost a DT! Oh my god. Well... Wait, did he though? I'm psyching myself out. Was one of the DTs under the Okay, okay, you know what? You know what? We're just gonna ignore that. Caster fail number 1 of the day. How about we call it that? So the Prism loads up, heads into the main. Bunch of Lings are here to intercept. They do all die, but, I mean, they bought time for more roaches to get out. This is like, okay. This is fine. Everything's fine. Melody. Sitting at the 7-minute mark. And the Zerg always has a choice at this point. Do you take a 4th? Do you go shut down the Protoss 3rd? Five drones get picked off in the net. This is a nice little play here from Exiled. Prism, it's in the orange. Queen goes down off creep. 5 drones fall. Hatch is redropped. Exiled continues with the DTs. Okay, one of the prisms gets shut down. Usually, when you're talking about multi-pronged drops, you're not talking about the Protoss. You might see a Protoss, like, do a charge lot run by, and then do a main attack, and then send a prism off to the side. But Exiled showing his prowess with double prism, putting a little bit of a dent into the Zerg economy. Melody delayed in going up to 4 bases. This is definitely still a position the Zerg can pull back from. It's just, you know, you don't want to be in this situation. Archon's gonna tag down a couple of Overlords. A few Overlords. Make no mistake, Exiled is like, he's not doing great economic things. He's not making these like big, huge decisions. But he's doing a good job, well, a good enough job microing, good enough job with unconventionality to keep Melody at home, to keep her occupied. Those looked like those were going to be... Oh, okay, that was a phenomenal Disruptor hit. That took out like 5 Ravagers. Holy crap. And Melody's going to be forced to back off thanks to that one Disruptor shot. It was looking bad there for a second for Exiled. First 2 shots didn't really kill anything whatsoever. That third one, man. Really intensive micro going on both sides. Disruptor shots coming out for the Protoss. They are mostly connecting really well. Melody trying to connect the Biles, but a little bit less successfully. Hatch gets picked off on the right. These disruptors are terrifying. Melody's trying to get the Lings in, so they can't all go down to the Rupture shots. Ah, the Mutas get picked off in their eggs. Well, at least there's a refund. Dozens of Muta are hitting the sky. Exiled has no way of knowing this. Well, I mean, sure, he has ways of finding out, but, like, this is still going to be hard for Melody to deal with, given the Archon count. Several Muta are going to get shredded. Melody's trying to figure out how she wants to engage this. Okay. Oh. Oh. There were just endless amounts of disruptor shots, and eventually one of them was bound to connect. The Mutalisk trading out on the other side of the map, getting 23 probes and damage. There's still a lot of work to be done, though. These Stalkers will get cut down, but the Archon finishes up. It needs to be Magic Boxed. Okay, Melody, perhaps wisely going after the shield battery so the Archon can't just sit there and infinitely tank the Muta shots, but GG is called. Exiled takes game number 1. In the bottom left, as the purple Zerg player, it's Melody, and in the top right, as the teal toss, it's Exiled. Let's see what our openers are from both players. It's going to be a gateway opener from Exiled. Melody takes a hatch first. Yeah, so as we saw game number 1 develop, I kind of cut off in the middle of my thought there, as the game ended in kind of a long, drawn-out engagement. But Exile didn't really play too crisply, didn't really play too macro. He just kind of... He made a couple units work, and played unconventionally. And that kind of picked Melody apart, I think. Which I can't really blame her. Like, as a Zerg myself, like, you don't gain a ton of experience against double Prism drop. It's not something you see every day. Especially not that early in the game. Like, maybe, like, once you go past the 12.5-minute mark, you see it every once in a while, but certainly not at 8 minutes. And, again, like, the disruptor shots during the main engagement, you can say that they were good, but, like, 2/3 of them weren't. There were just so many disruptors on the field that he could launch an endless supply of shots, and he's like, okay, I missed, let's queue up the next one. Okay, I missed, okay, let's queue up the next one. Ooh, connection. Beautiful. Half the army's gone. Okay, I missed. You know, and then Archons, of course, power overwhelming, taking out the Muta in the sky. Exiled. It's looking pretty similar to the last game. This is an earlier Twilight Council than we saw previous. He lets the Shade finish. This is a bit far out from the mineral line. Melody playing this out well, not even taking the Zergling losses. She doesn't have to. She's going to chase the Shades. She doesn't want to engage off creep with slow wings, but luckily the wings aren't going to be slow for too much longer. Exiled Shades out. Okay, so after the scout, Exile just cancels, goes into Resonating Glaives, drops the boost. He's like, YOLO, we're doing it. We're doing the build, guys. There are different levels of committal you can have from the Protoss, so you can just do light to moderate pressure, and you can take a third behind it. You can most certainly go all in. If you go all in, it's usually prudent for you to get up this critical mass of adepts, so of course you're running around, pulling the Zerg back and forth, trying to get as many drone kills as you can, but it's not 100% critical. So basically, what we were seeing in a lot of pro games last season was they build up this critical mass of adepts, and then they have so many that they just kill the third of the Zerg with the adepts. They whittle away at it with a few shots at a time, and then they get up to like 18 adepts, and then they just dumpster the third. Gonna have to see what level of committal Exile takes. Okay, there's squad 1, there's squad 2. He doesn't actually have a prism with this. This is super weird. He didn't wait for the prism. It's gonna pick off a queen to start off. He lets 2 finish the shade. The rest don't, so a second queen gets picked off. It's gonna soften up the defense a little bit for Melody. But she gets a really big surround, and a lot of these adepts will die. It looks like 1 will survive. 6 drones have fallen, but you want more drone damage if you're going for this mid-level harass. And you also want to be taking a third behind this. Exiled did not do either of those things. I'd say you want like a dozen to 15 drone kills to be really happy as the Protoss, and Exiled got 6. Melody certainly has a big enough economy to just flood Ling Roach, get Ravagers even. She's going for 10 more drones. This is also pretty valid, especially since the Protoss hasn't expanded yet. Exile may have overextended. One Immortal isn't enough to deal with this without a Prism. Where's the Prism? Get the Prism! Okay. Prism's gonna help out now. So with the Prism, this becomes a different story. It adds infinite possibility to the Immortal. Of course, it can get right-clicked, and you can screw up your micro, and you can lose everything. But with proper micro, Immortals basically can get unlimited kills. But it's like playing chess, right? Like, if neither opponent screws up, in theory, a game of chess will go on forever. You know, with perfect Prism micro, the Immortal can stay alive forever, but StarCraft is a very hard game, so... Melody goes into Spire, continues to get more Lings, Baneling speed on the way, Ravager is now in the mix. Chrono and shields. Ground attack for Exiled. I don't know about the shields decision. Don't know how I feel about that. Okay, Melody has a concave set up. She's gonna collapse in. Baneling's rolling forward. And she just has so much here. Like, she can afford to do this. It's not efficient to slam your Banelings into Immortals, but when you have this much, it can be fine. It can be absolutely a-okay. Dozen probes go down. Third can just get right-clicked at this point. Melody's going to take a couple losses as she backs up, but here's Lings. Now she can engage again. The Prism can only do so much, especially with the Immortals on this low hull health. Exiled holds in the natural. That would be a little bit of an overextension from Melody. Were she to try and push in there, but Melody isn't under pressure to break into the Protoss natural. She's on 5 base. It's the Protoss who has an anemic economy, half of his main mined out, and the Nat gonna start losing mineral patches in the next minute and a half. That was a brave Archon, but, like, his effort's gonna be in vain. Melody pushes out, Prism goes down. GG is called. Melody evens up the score. 1. In the bottom left, as the teal toss to Exiled. And in the top right, this is the purple Zerg. It's Melody. Exiled has pulled out his Glaives build. He's pulled out his DT build. It's gonna be this game. Gateway opener for the Protoss. Hatch first for Melody. I'm gonna be that basic caster right now. Zen is a very Zerg favored map. I don't know where I got that voice from. I think that's a South Park character. Yeah, Zen's a very Zerg favored map, mostly because of the rush distance. You can hit very quickly, very effectively with Bling Roach. But I'd say, out of, you know, it's not talked about very much, but I think it's also a good Muta map on occasion, because you can get the Muta cross map, you can get them home to defend really quickly, especially if you're playing against a Terran. You can, like, tap into the main, go cut off their supply lines as they're pushing across with Marine tank, and then really quick, like, swing back home and meet up with your Banelings, and then hit them at the front, and then circle around, get the tanks, and it's just this really, like, neat space while they're, like, trying to, we gotta go through the choke points, or, oh god, we gotta go all the way around the side of the map to hit you. Then we end up here, and we still gotta get to here. Versus Protoss, I mean, they're gonna have all their tech clustered. We've seen Melody do Muta play twice now, so it wouldn't be a shock if we saw it a third time. But what I'm trying to say here is Protoss, I think it can also be effective. You know, they're going to have their little ball out on the field. and you can hit the main really quick. Swing back home, defend. It's going to be another Twilight Council. This one feels late, though. This one's going down at the 2:46 mark. I feel like you want that, like, 10 seconds earlier. Something. Something, 237. Something, 227. I don't know, man. Melody getting up her third hatch. A few lings as well to deflect Adepts. I mean, Exiled has gone double Adept. Well, I mean, triple Adept in game number 1, but double Adept in game number 2. Yeah, this is a nice play from Exiled. This choke is really annoying to deal with. Only one Zergling can engage at a time. The only thing you can really do is, like, sit a Zergling back here to block the shade. But you have to preempt it. Okay, it's gonna be a blink play from Exiled. This is something we've seen get into vogue more and more recently. Like, at the beginning of 2020, it was pretty common for Protoss to be like, well, you just don't go Stalker in PvZ. And then all of a sudden, some Protosses were like, hey, you know what's pretty good in PvZ? You know what can work here? Why don't we try Blink Stalker? Why don't we try Blink Olids again? On Zen specifically, we're gonna see the Blink Stalkers go around this area. Prism's gonna set up somewhere around here. If Melody has good creep spread and everything, it's gonna set up down here. Exiled is going to try and kill the third with these Blink Stalkers. He's getting +1 as well, but don't think he delays the attack for it. I think he goes through the attack and then +1 hits during. I think he wants to get his gate count up as well. These feel a little late to me. Melody, her counterplay is going to be Zergling Ravager. So you really need like 16, 24, 32 even Zerglings to keep pushing against the Stalkers, keep pushing them back, being annoying, limiting their micro, and then pumping out damage with the Ravagers from behind. Here's the Prism. Here's more gateways. Stalkers blink out of the main. Salve's gonna pick up, drop at the edge of creep. But Melody has this creep. Like, this is pretty decent creep spread outside of the third. And that means, of course, her units are gonna be able to respond to this really quickly. She's not necessarily going to know what's going on until the Stalkers hit, because, yeah, sure, she saw the Twilight Council researching an upgrade, and she saw 3 gas, but, like, that can also be Blood Apps. Okay, 13 roaches on the way. She really needs those lings. The roaches are nice, but the lings are critical. It looks like the source wave's getting cleaned up, but in the meantime, there's a warp-in behind it. And there's going to be another warp-in very soon. An injured Stalker is not a dead Stalker. Okay, Melody pulls the drones. I think this is really smart. 16 more links coming out behind this. And, Exile just kind of flubbed the micro! Queen is going to scare the Prism back. Here come the links, though, and the remaining Stalkers will be overrun. Melody pushes into the choke. There's only one Stalker left, and Melody is just going to counter-push. The wall is wide open right now. Exiled warped in across the map. There's no reinforcements that are going to warp in here. Lings get into the mineral land of probes. They're running, but there's no safety in the main. Another 2 get picked off. Exiled hasn't really done anything in the meantime. He's going to get a couple tumors now. Oh no, I thought the Observer was going to sit in the Spore Caller for a second. Roaches come to delay this. And Melody is just buying time for more reinforcements. More reinforcements will pick this up. So many probes have fallen. 35, 36. It's going to be 40 probes all told. GG is called. Melody takes a 2-1 lead. In the top left, it's a Teal Toss exiled. And in the bottom right, as the purple Zerg, it's Melody. Melody, single game away from victory. A win in the series would rocket her to the top of her group. Exiled did take a loss in week number 1. So he's sitting tied with several others down at the bottom of Group A. And he is really looking to get his first win of the season. He's made Melody bleed. But Melody just looked like really good in game number 3. Simulacrum, a little bit more of an okay map for Protoss. Exiled with the probe scout. Oh, my opponent open standard. Oh wow, look at that. It's incredible. Bye guys. Melody takes a normally timed third. It's gonna be a Stalker opener. This time from Exiled. Is he just gonna commit? Okay, here comes the Twilight. There it is. This one even later than the game on Zen though at 250. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? I feel like, especially if you're going Twilight Council openers, those timings are super important. It's like the most important thing. It doesn't... It's almost less important how you eventually engage the Zerg with the units that you have. Like, you need it down. So, Melody should lose the Overlord before she scouts this. Actually, she's not even on a path to scout it. She's not going to see it. But the Stalker opener can be a hint that the Twilight's going on. This is going to be a Dark Shrine play. Second Overlord. Tries for the Scout. They'll get denied. It's also going to supply Black Melody here a little bit. Lair on the way. Should be complete, actually, as the DTs hit. Which is going to be nice. Having an Overseer opposed to sacrificing the drones for spores. Here's the DT play. Already an Overseer in position. The units on the ground a little bit lacking. There are some Queens here that can respond. They do have Transfuse as well. The lanes bought enough time for the Queens to get over here. Transfuse has not been dropped. One Queen goes down, but enough time has been bought. The Roaches are out, and the DTs have to get picked up. Yeah, okay. This time I'm certainly not crazy. He lost a Dark Templar there. So he's going to have to warp in another one if he wants to make Archons. Link's going to tap at the wall. Traitor Adept helps break Protoss wall. Headlines at 11. Or more at 11. I mixed my metaphors there. I'm like... Local TV news, but also newspaper? This is the future of media. Blast the shields, Master War Prism has. How embarrassing. Exiled, taking a 6.5-minute third. Melody, as always, is going to choose between taking a fourth and trying to knock out that Protoss third. Baneling Nest almost finished her, and this Roach Ball is pretty far afield. I think we know which decision Melody has made. Well, isn't this a nice find for Exiled? Melody had a bunch of extra Overlords, so she's not going to be supply blocked too hard for this, but that was several hundred minerals lost. However, Melody did kill the Protoss third, so like, she's gonna be okay. Fourth hatch, almost finished. Exiled pokes out again to try and expand. Melody splits off the Roaches, some of them chasing the Prism. Some of them looking to get another kill on the third. Two Immortals scare off the Roach Ball, and Exiled goes into double Prism play again. He's going for the Disruptor memes again. Double Prism Disruptor. That was a decent hit. That was a mediocre hit. Okay, that was another mediocre hit. And it's not going to be enough to hold on. Both okay, no. One Disruptor was saved in the Prism. One goes down. But this third is forfeit, man. Even if the shield batteries try and heal here, which they aren't, it's not going to be enough. Down it goes. Infinite Health Stalker. Melody is gonna back out just because she can. Like, why throw your army away at the wall, especially with disruptors on the field? Did she lose the... No. She still has the Overseer Cloud. But yeah, Melody's just gonna sit back. Whatever drone count she's comfortable with, she's gonna sit on, which it looks like is 68. 68's respectable. A bunch of mutas are in production, and unlike what we saw in game number... I think it was game number 1. It's game number 1 or Yeah, no, it was for certain game number 1. There's 2 disruptors with this ball, not 7. There are no Archons with this ball. This is totally doable for the Mutalisk to engage this, as long as they engage with the ground forces. But Melody goes on the attack. Exiled is going to pull back. Game number 1, he went for the base trade. Now everything's on the line. The Muta pick off 5 probes. Gun down a Stalker. They lose one of their own number. Ooh, they stop engaging the Stalkers as the reinforcements come back. But this is already damage dealt by Melody, and you're like, of course, she killed 5 probes, but also, she pulled the whole Protoss army back, so she has so much time to build units. She has so much time to research Tutu. She has so much time to get a hive. The Protoss has to, like, walk, and then clear creep, and then pressure the base, and Melody doesn't have to engage the whole time, and she can get out even more units. Even losing these Muta is not, it's not good. I'm not gonna say that's good, but like, you know, it's okay. It's gonna be a-okay. Okay, maybe if she doesn't produce more units, but just some lings here. She's splitting up all over the place. Okay, she's going for the surround. Shot number 1 kills a Ravager. Shot number 2 misses. All the disruptors are gone, and this is going to be easy cleanup from here on out for the Zerg. We should see Exiled tap out any moment. Like, how do you come back from that? It's 20 army supply to 80. Okay, well, there's your answer. How do you come back from that? He's going to get DTs, one behind Dark Shrine, but the second the Overseers get here, that DT dies. There's another Disruptor. It's not firing a shot, though. More than enough Baneling survives. GG is called. Melody takes the series 3 in the bottom left corner of Zen. This is the purple Terran. It's Last Surprise. And in the top right, that's the blue Zerg. Continuing forward into week 3, it's Melody. Yeah, so we kinda are getting to see all 3 of Melody's matchups here. ZVZ versus Damrud, ZVP versus Exiled, and now Zerg versus Terran against Last Surprise. Make sure you guys hit up the Matcherino. Chat, exclamation, Matcherino. I believe it's AXCOM106. I don't know. It's on the bot. Pretty sure it's 106. My short-term memory is also garbage, so, you know, there's that. It's gonna pop out and it's like, it was 302! How'd I get 106? Melody, the hatch first. Last Surprise with the Reaper Expand. So in our last series, I talked a little bit about how Muta can be effective versus Terran on this map, but also super effective is Ravager play, like Lingbane Ravager. Just pick a timing and you go, go, go. There's such a variety. You can go 5 Roach Rush, you can go 10 Roach Rush, you can go 3 Rav Rush, you know, 5 Ravager Rush. As long as you hit it crisply and concisely. This map is a Zerg's playground. Hit the timing crisply and concisely. Sometimes I feel like English is my second language, even though it's my first language. I'm like, well, I can't speak too good. Feels bad. Feel bad, Ming. Yeah, last surprise, not able to push in through the Zerg defenses. He's gonna try to pick the tumor, and he gets it. Ooh, he's gonna get a second one. That's kind of nice. Melody's second queen comes to the front. It's like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Don't look down there. There's violence. Slowlings are killing the Reaper. Oh, wow. I guess they're speedlings now. Last surprise begins his Hellion pressure phase of the game. He's just going to move 2 of them out. Going to leave 2 at home. Especially on a map like this, the reason you're seeing him do this is he wants to wait for 6. So he leaves 2 at home. Sometimes when the Zerg sees these Hellions come out of the nat, you're just going to go for a Ling run by. And then you lose all these SCVs, or at least half of them as they run to the main, and it's not a fun time. So, last surprise being safe, moves the next 4 Hellions out in a pack. Liberator is going to try to get some damage done, probably in the main. As these nerds set up and bait the queens. Ooh. Last surprise loses one, though. It's no fun. Picks off an Overlord in the main. Two drones go down. This is okay as long as the Liberator isn't lost. But Melody doing a great job of creep spreading, doing a great job of deflecting the Hellions. Third CC is complete. Queen army continues its inexorable march with the creep tumors. Okay, that was an impressive shot. So what Last Surprise did there is the forward tumor was finished up. His back tumor wasn't, so he angled the Hellion so that the line... Do you even call that splash damage, like when it shoots in the line, like a lurker? I don't think you do. Anyway, yeah, he targeted the back tumor so that the splash damage hit the forward tumor. I killed both. Melody takes a 4th. A nice timing. Last surprise finally backs off, going to relent on the pressure, but while the Zerg has lost some queen energy, lost a couple creep tumors, Melody was on 7 queens, so she could afford to take those energy losses on the queens. Last Surprise knows he needs to get damage done, because you don't just leave the Zerg economy unchecked like this. Melody's on 65 drones. Melody can complete this game on 65 drones if she needs to. On 4 hatch. Last Surprise needs to make something happen here, but there's only one tank in position. The second one moves up, but it's not sieged. One Baneling crashes into the tank. The lane count's a little bit low. You need those lanes to shield for the Banes, but Melody has done exactly what she wanted to, which is buy time and zone out the Marines and pumping out damage on the hatchery. Well, as well as killing the tank, but I think that's just a nice bonus. She is going to target down the remaining tank. And these queens are actually like the backbone of this little pressure here. Well, not anymore. With the Ling reinforcements, that dynamic changes. Melody runs down Marine after Marine. Only 3 of them make it home to tell their friends of the encroaching Zerg swarm. And it looks like Melody is ready to go in for the kill. She doesn't really have to do this here, but she can. I mean, she just busts this supply depot, runs the Lings in, kills all the SCVs. She'll be happy. Or the Terran can run out to meet her and just get overrun. Oh my god, both tanks go down. I mean, that was a nice shot on the Banelings, but it's not going to be good enough. Ooh. 400 minerals and supply depots go down, and 20 SCVs. Last Surprise is in pain. He's screaming, wubba lubba dub dub. He loads up 2 medevacs. I mean, he's like, well, I need to get damage done. I have to. It's a requirement if I want to win this game. This is unlikely, but I'm gonna try it. I don't know about dropping in this location, though. I thought he was gonna drop in the main. Alright, now he's gonna drop in the main. Already a Hydralisk sitting here. Spawn camping the Marines as they try to drop from the medevacs. That Chad Hydra takes off 2/3 of the health off one of the evacs. Ooh, Last Surprise repositions into the main. It's another drop. These guys are like, alright, you know what? It's Christmas. We're gonna call a Christmas truce. We're gonna let you go. You get to go home, see your families. At least for a little while. Until the swarm knocks at your door again. Last Surprise is doing a lot of technically correct things. Like, technically this is what you can do when you're behind, is drop a lot. Hit at multiple locations at once. But like, Last Surprise is like, Mom, can we have multi-prong drops in the late game against a Zerg? And she's like, we have multi-prong drops against a Zerg at home. It's like multi-prong drops against a Zerg at home. 6 Marines and 2 injured medevacs. Melody was able to force a lift on the CC. Still some bio out here. They're looking pretty orange, but it's like a personal medevac for every Marine. So they're gonna be A-okay. Those weren't the most efficient Baneling trades for Melody, but she just has infinite numbers. Oh man, the Parasitic Bomb on the medevac cloud, Blinding Cloud on the tanks. All the Banelings did go down here. The Planetary is gonna hold, but Melody can afford these trades. Last Surprise most certainly cannot. I would almost cast Blinding Cloud on the Marine, like, or just abduct the medevacs. But Melody, it's going to be more prudent, more conservative, more fiscally conservative in regards to the Viper energy. Melody is so it looks like you're like, wow, Last Surprise is defending really well. He certainly isn't being broken, but Melody is doing an important thing here, and that is choosing the location of the engagement and the pace of the engagement. So, like, it's not that Last Surprise wants to be here. He has to be here. This is the direction he chose to expand. This corner base dies if this planetary gets overrun. So he's forced to unite all his men here, and that means he's not out on the map. He's not dropping Melody. He's not shutting down hatcheries, which you really, really, really need to do as the Terran. Yes, he clawed his way back up to 5 base. Well, not back up to. He clawed his way up to 5 base. But Melody has kept him pinned at that planetary for a very long time. 2 tanks are going to stop these Lings from wrecking the wall and later the SCV line. Last Surprise stims in unsupported Marines. If these Queens transfuse, they could actually fight those Marines on their own. One of the mine shots whiffed. That could have been a really big connection on the Lings of Melody. Corruptors pick off 1 medevac. Banelings roll through. They kill all the SCVs. There's nothing left to repair the planetary. Finally, Melody chooses to overrun the position. 62 Zerglings are going to follow this up. This is not a wall. This cannot hold 62 Zerglings. And the Lings are going to crack through the upper wall as well. And the second Melody gets in on the production, this game is over for Last Surprise. It's a lot of free Marines dead. Well, I guess they're not free. Like, he picked off 15 drones, but those are so easily replaceable for the Zerg. Like, they might as well have died for free. Last Surprise floats out his main CC. And this entire time, so I kind of cut myself off to follow the engagement. But Melody, you know, we've seen these trades and you're like, oh wow, Last Surprise is holding the full might of the Zerg army. No, Last Surprise hasn't. Melody's been researching tech this whole time. Greater Spire is on the way. These Corruptors can become Broodlords. Like, +2 ranged is gonna finish up. 3-3. Already on the ground. GG, well played. Melody overruns the Terran positions and takes game. In the top right of Everdream, as the purple Terran, its last surprise. In the bottom left, as a teal Zerg, Melody. So, as I was saying at the end of the last game, if you just kind of turn your brain off and you watch that game, it looks a lot closer than it was. Melody was constantly expanding and taking tech behind her siege of the Terran 4th. And it wasn't that she couldn't break him. It's that it had maybe a 65 to 70% chance of working. There's a world where Last Surprise just has the correct tank positions, has the correct micro, and kills everything the Zerg has, and then gets back in the game. She just kept the Zerg... It's like in chess. So, if you put the king in check, in this case the king is the primary mining bases of the Terran, then your opponent is obligated to respond to you. And you know where their pieces are, and then you can use your next turn to gain more advantages. In this case, Melody would poke in, go check. The Terran has to run all his Marines over there. And then Melody would take another base, or Melody would click an Evo chamber and build another upgrade. And, I mean, had Last Surprise held there, well, Melody had a bank, Melody had a Greater Spire, and would have morphed in Broodlords, and would have checked him again. So let's see if we have another epic macro game in round number 2. A surprise. It's going to do some Hellion pressure. 2 Hellions. Maybe try to get a couple creep tumors. Check the lane count. Pull the queens to the front. It's going to mass up 4 more Hellions. And then he's going to go for a little bit of a bigger attack. Alright. He's going for the Liberator play. And the tech lab on the barracks is whispering bio to me. The stim on the tech lab on the barracks is screaming very loudly bio to me. Liberator. Looks like it's going to the 3rd, but it's not. It's circling around to the Nat or the main. The screen line is almost unseeable, but it's going into the main. Melody has a Warren on the field. Okay, she's moving out. This is looking like a 35 drone, Roach Ravager all in. Yeah, there's the Link Flood behind it. This is super all in from Melody. Liberator didn't even bother. Single kill. It's gonna rush home to defend. CV is picked off. CC finished. Ooh. Which means it can be repaired. That's why that's important. But the wall is broken. 2 Marines in a bunker aren't the best thing to deal with this many roaches. Liberator's like, I'm here, guys. I'm here. Here, let me siege up real quick. I'm ready for the defense. Oh, I got wild. Okay, Melody in on the production forces the GG. In the top left corner of Nightshade has the purple Terran. Its last surprise. And in the bottom right, as the teal Zerg, she's Melody. Single game away from totally dominating her division. I mean, we'll have to see how the other 2 matches play out this week, but a 3-0 lead is an excellent way to start out the season. I mean, it's not here yet. It's not. Surprise can still pull a turnaround, but winning 3 games in a row, especially momentum not in your favor, is a very difficult proposition for any StarCraft player. Last surprise! Pulls out the proxy racks! Everything is on the line here in the series, and it's gonna be... Is it gonna be 3 racks? Okay, he's gonna hide the 3rd racks on the high ground. I like this. I like the metagame. Okay, Melody sends out her Overlord. Where's the pathing on this? Ooh, it's gonna scout all 3 anyway. If it doesn't pull back. Okay, it does pull back. Well, alright, so Melody isn't gonna bother checking the racks count at all, which is interesting. So, the racks count really tells you how all-in the Terran's being. You know, 2 racks can be 2 racks Reaper, it can just be 2 racks Marine, which just means, you know, you have to get less damage done and you can transition out of it easier. 3 racks is a little bit more committed, and of course 4 racks is just balls to the wall, absolutely insane all-in. Here's the drone pull from Melody. She is going to be aiming to kill all the SCVs. Is she, though? Alright, she's going to try to overrun the Marines while the Lings take care of the SCVs. She pulls almost all of the drones. So she is pretty far behind in economy right now, but she makes sure there's not going to be any bunker for a really long time. There's a Queen out with the Lings to help shield. The Queen's going to be able to pick off like 3 Marines, and that means there's not enough Marines left to kill the Queen. Melody can always draft some battle drones if she needs to as well. Last surprise should be hoofing another drone across the map, but he's... okay, there he goes. He's going to pull 2 more. Lings poke out really far. They'll trade out for 2 Marines. It's okay, that's decent. The bunker was canceled in the front, so it's not really anything for these guys to finish up. They're actually going to back off. I think that's almost worse. At least use them to shield for the Marines if you're going to keep this up. Last surprise has dropped CC back at home. But he needs to keep this pressure up, or he's going to get overrun. It's now transfuse on both these Queens. Melody isn't injecting, she's just going off the larva she has. She's like, hey, I'm not mining on enough economy to build more than this anyway. Alright, last surprise is like, Bring it home, boys. We can't keep this up any longer. Take with a little bit of a supply block. His CC is about 90% of the way there. I think you want the Marines behind the wall. Okay, he's gonna run him back. Luckily, Melody did not choose to move in at that exact moment. Last surprise. Goes into orbital. He's gonna do this annoying thing where he flies the barracks in and just infinitely scouts the Zerg forever. Melody knows it's over though, and well, knows that the aggression's over though, and is going to hold down the drone key. Oh, this is super annoying. I mean, Melody has Lings out, so this isn't going to be too effective, hopefully. But last surprise drops the CC. Oh, he's going to build a Marine, too. That's so obnoxious. Yeah, that's right. Burn alive, Marine. Burn alive. Sorry, that was really dark. Okay. Barracks floats off to explode in the sky. It's gonna become a firework. Melody. It's almost 2 base saturated. She will be, as he's next injects pop. Last surprise going into Blue Flame. A mix of barracks and factories. He hasn't moved the CC out yet. He's playing this like way too safe. He saw where the Lings were when they took out the barracks. I don't know why he hasn't moved it to the low ground. Like, he has enough Marines to hold as long as he throws down a supply depot wall. So he's definitely not where he could be economically. He's getting an armory. As a reminder, this is the previous patch, I do believe. So no perma Widowmine Cloak. Not that there's any on the field right now. Hell, that's Morphin. It's Morphin time! Melody is going to come in from multiple angles. These are decent splits from last surprise. But it's enough from Melody. Not enough damage was done from the Terran. She's going to hold. And she's behind in workers right now. But this economy can really explode if she would like it to. But it looks like she's going for a lane flood, first and foremost. 3 more queens being produced as well. Shore up defenses back at home. There are only 2 Hellions at the wall right now. It's going to be 4. Cloak Banshee on the way. But Banshees aren't the biggest help against Zerglings. Third moves out. Ooh, that's gonna bait the Hellions out of the wall, the Lings. Well, I mean, they technically get in. They're indecisive on their targets. This could have, like, there are 2 things Melody could have done here that would have made it very bad for the Terran. She could have done what she kind of committed to, which was surround these 4 Hellions on the outside of the base with the Lings, then morphed in some, and then kept camping the 3rd. Or she could have, you know, she had the Lings in the wall, she could have dived into the main. But non-committal there means the Terran holds on. Nice creep damage. Goes out from Last Surprise, but the Queen's gonna replace the tumors right quick. Melody drops a 4th. Last Surprise, despite having a rather bad beginning, is getting his battle mech out. His upgrades are under production. He's got this 3rd operational. He's building a 4th. The worker count's really solid. I think he's gonna be... I think he might win this game. It's possible. Here's the mean to switch from Melody. Trolling, this is the same Melody as in game. This is casted from blind replay. So these games were all played last week. You remind me of... Well... My mom was a news anchor, and I remember my cousin, like, saw her on TV and was like... Just looked at her, looked at the TV. How are you in both places? What? Why aren't you inside the TV? Alright, here we go. Melody makes her play. Cyclones are the anti-air here for the battle mech. There are... double-click 5 Cyclones to deal with the Muta. If those 5 Cyclones fall, it's going to be really bad, but the Cyclones also need to be targeting the Banelings. Okay, so Last Surprise is relying on the siege tanks to hold. Ooh. Missile turrets now helping out. I don't know if this is good for Melody to throw into the missile turrets. Yeah, she wants to get out of there. She took a lot of Muta losses. Crashing into those turrets. More turrets haphazardly thrown at the 3rd, one in the, several at the Nat. And, of course... Whoa! What do I mean, of course? He doesn't have any turrets around the production, so if Melody somehow scouts this could be a lot of dead add-ons. Hyperflight rotors finish. Look at that! Look at that Banshee go! Deja vu, I have been in this place before, higher on the street! It's, that's an initial D reference. Last Surprise is doing a really good job of keeping the creep spread in check. Melody has not had poor creep spread this game by any means. It's just Last Surprise has been really in her face with the battle mech, constantly killing off the tumors, forcing it back, and Melody hasn't really been able to push past this little like hill area. Well, she hasn't really tried down here, but you know, this has been a very hotly contested zone throughout the game. That's a lot of orange Hellions. You don't have any missile turrets to help you out this time, Last Surprise. I hate to tell you that. You're a little bit far from home. That's the name of the second Last Surprise Marvel movie. Last Surprise, Far From Home. Those were great Baneling connections, by the way. Muta's actually overrun the turrets at the third base. Fusion core goes down. Ooh, buddy. Yeah, there's not enough Cyclones here to deal with this. Oh, and they lose lock-on. Okay, remember like 90 seconds ago when I was like, wow, if Melody sees that there's no turrets in the main, it's gonna be a lot of dead add-ons. Well, here's your dead add-ons. They're kiting back the Hellions. The Hellions were grouped with the Cyclones. They're just gonna back out for now. Lose the Cyclone lock-on. One of the Liberators should die in the Starport. Second Liberator should make it onto the field. It will. Starport's lit on fire. 5 Muta do go down, but Melody can afford it at this point. And this has been another reversal of fortune here. Zerg is firmly in control of this game, up 22 workers. Last Surprise was looking really hot there for a moment, but gotta go fast. Trolling says in the chat. Oh, I get that reference. It's Sonic. It's a Sonic reference. Wow. Look at this Muta Cloud. Can you imagine 4 Widow Mines? Can you imagine if Last Surprise had several Widow Mines? See how that pans out. But at this point, memes aside, like, Last Surprise is going to be on 3 base at best. Like, you can't hold 4 base with a small amount of units. Down goes the engineering bay. Supply depot's lit on fire. You can't repair a missile turret if it's being one-shotted. You can't repair a Thor if it's being two-shotted. I mean, I guess technically you can. It's not going to be too effective. Those Liberators sure did deal splash damage. They sure did. Muta just, like, this is just an invincible Muta flock. When you're at this level of play, like, Last Surprise, yeah, if he got a critical mass of Thors, his Muta can't do anything about it, but he's not going to. Melody is a very skilled 5k Zerg. She used to be at, like, 5,400, and you just don't make those kind of mistakes at this level, unless you're very inebriated. Even if these Widow Mines kill all of these Muta, Melody still wins this game. Hands down. Yes, army supplies look even-ish, but Last Surprise is on 2 base. He needs to drop those mules, like, very quickly. This is 3 Thors and a tank trying to make the dream happen. Down goes the tank. Down go 2 of the Thors. GG is called. Melody takes the series 3-0. In the top right corner of Zen, he's currently undefeated. He has not lost a single map so far in the AlphaX Apprentice Season 4. It's H-Jax, and in the bottom left, as the blue Protoss, it's the young Eric Fire. Trolling, thank you so much for the kind words. I hope you have a wonderful night. H-Jax just lost his position in first place. Let's see if he can reclaim it. As long as he wins this series 3-2, he will be in first place going into week 4. Eric Fire already had his bye week, so if you look at the bracket, it's going to be a little bit weird. He is fighting to get a win on the board right now, currently sitting at 1 loss. There's our gates on both sides. What are the first 2 units out of the gateways going to be? Alright. It's a Stalker. Double Stalker opener from Eric Fire. Ooh! Strapping a Proxy Robo. This is a different series, I know. If you've been watching since match number 1 today, this is going to get old. Bear with me here if you're watching on YouTube. So this is played on the old patch. There's no shield battery overcharge. Proxy Robo still going to be very strong. As well as Stalker pressure. H-Jax being like, hey, you're not going to expand Eric Fire. And Eric Fire's like, bruh, you think you're gonna take a second Nexus in 2020? Au contraire, my friend. Four Stalkers out on the map. There's the ammo, and there's the Prism. Just sure to morph in several more Stalkers once it gets into position. H-Jax has a proxy pylon out of his own. Now, this isn't going to be for a sustained attack. There's no gateway here for quick warp in, anything like that. What this pylon is for warping in Adepts. So you want to warp in Adepts here and pressure the main of your opponent. Even with like 6 Stalkers sitting there, the Adepts can still trade out for probes. And your opponent, if he's one-basing it, doesn't want to be spending money on probes. He wants to be spending money on warping in right in your face. Now, H-Jax has 3 shield batteries behind this. 1 Stalker gets picked off. Eric Fire's going to push in as soon as the force fields expire. There's only 1 force field left for H-Jax. Eric has none. Well, he has no spells on the sentries whatsoever. It's gonna shade the Adepts forward. H-Jax blocks on the high ground. One Stalker, 2 Stalker. I would almost double ammo drop the main if I were Eric Fire. He has enough to kind of keep the army in check down here. He gets 2 more Stalkers. Those are very nice force shields. But H-Jax gets off some nice force shields as well. The The problem is, every time that H-Jax cuts off some units of Eric Fire, it doesn't matter because the Prism can just pick the units up and pull them back. Like that Adept. He didn't even lose the Adept. Eric. Kills off the sentries. Shield batteries are out of energy. And he's just gonna brute force this. H-Jax did do the Adept warp-in thingy that I talked about earlier, but, like, this is all over for H-Jax. Send in the clowns, like... Or is it? Wait a minute. Oh my god. Give it to me. Give it to me. The shield batteries on the low ground are still alive. He's focusing the Adept instead of the Immortals. Yeah, H-Jax loses the Nat. But that's actually, as insane as this sounds, H-Jax can totally lose the second Nexus. He just has to hold the high ground. If he can hold the high ground, oh, he loses an Immortal. Okay, he picks off an Immortal. Oh my god. One shot on this Immortal, it dies. He's pulling the probes. H-Jax loses an MO. 16 probes go down in the engagement. GG is called. Eric Fire causes H-Jax his first loss. In the top left, as the Pink Protoss. Currently in the lead. Well, currently second in Group A, trying to regain his lead. It's H-Jax. And in the bottom right, as the Blue Protoss, he made the undefeated H-Jax bleed. It's Eric Fire. Eric with relentless microplay, overwhelming H-Jax. H-Jax, I think, should have cut one of the Immortals and gotten a Prism earlier. Like, he started actually... I mean, he had, like, an Immortal and was holding off the entire other Protoss army by the time he got the War Prism out, and winning. Like, he was trading out 2 Immortals for every one he lost of his. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration. Like, 1.5 Immortals for every Immortal that he lost. But, like... if only he had been able to do that much earlier. Which he could have, but he got greedy. He went for like 4 Immortals at one time, and I think 1 Immortal well microed is better than 2 Immortals. Eric drops another proxy pylon. H-Jax did not scout this. H-Jax will, however, scout that there was no second pylon in the main of Eric Fire. And that's going to make him very suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Eric drops a Robo. And this is going to play out very similarly to game number 1. Shax is going for the Adept play. Now, if he gets in the main, this could be massive, but you can never ever bank on that look. Eric didn't even see the Adepts. He already has a probe pool to drop a shield battery. Incidentally, H-Jax scouted the proxy. I don't think that was intentional at all. Two Stalkers are here to get as many shots off on these Adepts as they can before they reach the mineral line. Okay, Eric gets the block off, so that's not even going to come into play. Third gateway on the way as well. Both Adepts should die before the Shade completes. They will. H-Jax is getting another gateway. He has Phoenix in the air. This is a really smart, if not necessarily standard play. So, the meme is that the Phoenix are going to pick up the Immortal, and that's going to allow the Stalkers to deal damage on the ground. He might even pick up one of the Stalkers. It can also have utility pressuring the Warp Prism. There's a third Phoenix from H-Jax. Unfortunately, he is supply blocked. And this is a pretty heavy supply block as well. There could be another Phoenix already on the field. Let's see if that affects this defense. Here we go. One gateway is minus its shields. One gateway is dead. A lift on the sentry, okay. Two force fields do still go off, and H-Jax does still lose two Stalkers. There's the lift on the Immo, there's the lift on the Stalkers, but now these Phoenix are out of energy, and, I mean, H-Jax takes out the Prism, but there's not enough to actually hold on in the main. He's only on 2 Warp Gate tech. He's gonna have another Phoenix soon, but these guys are actual literal paperweights. They just have to sit here and watch as all their friends die. That's absolutely terrible. Chi-Chi is called. In the top right corner of Everdream, as the pink Protoss, it's H-Jax, and in the bottom left, as the blue Toss, currently up 2-0 against what may soon to be the former leader of Group A. It's Eric Fire. What may soon to be? What the hell? What kind of words am I stringing together? The guy who may soon be the runner-up in Group A? Is that a better sentence? I don't know. Scholars will debate this till the end of time. Okay, Eric Fire goes for the scout. Is he gonna go Proxy Robo a third game in a row? Two gate on the high ground for H-Jax. 2 gate on the high ground for Eric. I mean, name a more classic opener in ZVP. I'll tell you one. The Proxy 4 gate. That's a classic opener. As pioneered by Maximus Black. Anybody? No? Okay. Yeah, Eric Fire is most definitely gonna proxy a third game in a row. It's infuriating. Okay, so I am guilty of this as a competitor. But one way to tilt your opponent in a best of 5 is to beat him with the same build twice in a row. And then show up with it in game number 3, and they're already, like, you've already won. Before the game even starts, because, like, they've already seen that they can't hold it the first 2 times. And then you show up at their door, again, you're like, hey, it's me, 6 Stalkers, a Prism, and an Immortal. And they're like, oh god, they're just sitting there having flashbacks, they're like cold sweating. H-Jax is looking for it.
Glory to the Daylom.
Is he gonna find it? No. Oh no, he is Way off base, at least with this initial scout. Is he gonna find it with the Adepts, though? The answer is also no. Oh, the probe goes down to a Stalker. Eric needs to pull a probe into the wall so he can get the building. Oh, well, the Adepts flash to the side instead of into the main. Bit of hull damage on one of them. Mortal pops for Eric. Here comes the prism. Will this build work 3 times in a row? Eric actually leaves the hard wall, so he doesn't know if H-Shax has a hidden proxy pylon anywhere, and he doesn't want to risk H-Shax getting into the main and, you know, wrecking his worker line while he's not at home. He can afford to do this because, of course, he has the greatest in warp technology. It's not actually the greatest. You used to be able to quick warp in without a pylon near. But, you know, it's still pretty decent. It's still pretty good. Warping in units is evolving, just backwards. H-Shax has 2 shield batteries down. In game number 1 on Zen, we saw him have 3 shield batteries and lose to this. Does have 2 Immortals out already. But again, we're seeing Eric fire with the Prism. Okay, H-Shax. Did he learn from his mistakes? Is he gonna hold here? He got out an earlier Prism. Oh, he blocks the Shade into the main. There's a cancel from Eric. Eric this time is dropping in the main. He unpowers 2 gateways. The Robo is still fine. It has another pylon powering it. H-Shax drops a Robo Bay in the back. Going into Disruptors. That's like... It's like, why'd you throw the gimmick in the game, right? Like, if you're a game developer and you have, like, a solid game, and then you're like, what if you can build a farm in your puzzle game also, and that farm is seeking all the resources of the dev team, and that means H-Shax doesn't have enough to hold on. So Eric fire! 3-0 win against H-Shax. That means Eric fire in the top right corner of Eternal Empire as the Teal Protoss. It's exiled. And in the bottom left, as the pink Zerg, it's Damrod. Exiled, it's just had no luck. Dropping both matches during the first 2 weeks. Wait, is this the... Okay. We just hit the same track we were listening to outside of a game, inside a game. Yeah, so Exiled dropped both of his matches so far. He's looking to finally get a point on the board. Damrod had a bye week and then dropped a series to Melody. So he's also looking to get his first point on the board. Eight Lings on the production tab for Damrod. Exile drops a pylon in the Nat. 1 Ling splits off to take on the probe. 2 Lings split off, as a matter of fact. 4 of them are going to go and try and slip in the wall for full scout. This did delay Damrod's second base quite substantially. We're at Damrod. I just take this third, but Damrod has other strategic values, I suppose. Exiled takes the shields off the gateway! Oh no! The Zealot spawns on the outside of the wall. Okay, it's gonna be okay. Damrod had more lane reinforcements coming in, but evidently thought they were too far away to engage the two Zealots, so he's gonna back up. The Adept Shade completes from Exiled. It's gonna get 3 drones. Okay. I mean, that's not stellar. Yeah, I mean, you get 3 drones and you lose 1 Adept, fine. You get 3 drones and you take hull damage on both Adepts, fine. You get 3 drones and you lose both Adepts. That's yikes. Luckily, Damrod heavily delayed his 3rd hatch. This is really late to expand in ZVP. Damrod is going to be facing down a double Stargate play. Will it be Mass Oracle? Will it be Mass Phoenix? Will it be a little bit of both? There's Oracle 1. Oracle 2. Getting ready. Pop. Roach Warren goes down for Damrod. Now there's a couple things you can do here. You can go Mass Roach, because like what are the Oracles gonna do? Kill your roaches with the laser beams? Well, they can in low numbers, but as soon as you get to like a dozen roaches, it stops mattering. It does look like Exiled is just gonna go for the Oracle Harass into Mass Phoenix. Usually, you want to get a Forge in the net if going double Stargate, but Exiled pretty confident here. Is foregoing that Forge. Oh, okay. You know what? That confidence well-founded. 8 drones get burned down, and one of the Oracles survives with very little hull damage. Damrod's in trouble. Damrod's in a lot of trouble. Exiled is gonna get the Forge. It's like another Phoenix taking flight. Damrod pushes out with some roaches. Exiled cleans up an Overlord. He's not gonna push out with the roaches. He's gonna go for the macro play, but this is all so delayed. Players started morphing in. One Phoenix gets picked off. Change for a couple drones and an Overlord. Phoenix will get the kill. on the Overseer. Damrod supply blocked from that, actually, and he's not building any Overlords. He went for 13 drones. Oh, he's not committing. He's trying to have his cake and eat it too. He's trying to pressure the third and also go heavy macro. Remember when I said that the Oracles can burn your roaches down in low numbers? Yeah, well, this is doing enough. Phoenix are gonna run down the rest, and now Damrod's entire army is gone. This is all of it. He has some queens back at home. That's it. Drops a Hydra Den. Roach speed over halfway done. Ling speed over halfway done. There's a lot of transfuse here. It's gonna hold off the Phoenix for now. Not a single unit died during that 20-second engagement. Oh man, with the stasis wards going down, it means that these two queens can be picked off, which means that, well, I guess 3 queens, but yeah, he's gonna go after the squishy Hydra while they're still in low numbers. And behind this, Exiled is expecting Mass Hydra, so he's going directly into Disruptors and basically going full-on into anti-Hydra technology. The latest and greatest. Charge, you got your +2 ground weapons, you got double Disruptor production. Oh! That was like 9 Hydras. They're all dead. They're dead. They're goo on the floor. That's game. GG. I mean, technically speaking, if none of the Disruptor shots connected from here on out, Damrod could overrun this, but from my... It is my professional opinion that Exiled will hold this 4th base and will win this game. Well, you know what? There's a Muta switch here from Damrod. Okay. Exile doesn't have the most anti-air here, but he got some very nice AoE shots off on the Muta before they split. Damrod might actually hold this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, there's a recall. One of the Disruptors survives out of this entire army. Exiled still has a great economy, but Damrod up to 5 bases. Wow! Was my caster prediction wrong here? No. It was absolutely not wrong. Damrod fully transitioning into Mutalisks. Both our players are, for all safe and purposes, maxed out. Another great disruptor shot from Exile. That one less so. Phoenix. Decimate mute account. There isn't too much left on the ground, though. All those disruptors dying is a nice bit of damage, but Exiled, now on 5 Nexus. As long as he holds, he's gonna be okay. Alright, Damrod's pushing through. Oh, Exile calls GG! Wow! Okay, alright, you know what? I'm in the top right corner. As the teal Protoss, it's Exiled. And in the bottom left, as the pink Zerg, it's Damrod. Damrod with game number 1, in what was certainly a shock to me. Took a late third. He went for multiple pressures that didn't do anything. The Protoss barely lost a unit. When it came to major engagements, Exiled just didn't really hold a candle to Damrod. Exiled gets a full scout off. I mean, it's a hatchcast pull out of Damrod, so we are going to very passively head into the mid game as Exiled produces a couple of Adepts. Is it going to be Adept? I mean, it's double gate before Cyber. It's got to be Adepts, right? Unless he's doing a Stalker build. You know what? That's a possibility, too. Okay, there's a Stalker. Is it going to be... Yeah, double Stalker. He should be dropping a Twilight Council at this back pylon and chronoing out Blink sometime soon. There it is. It's a dead Overlord, Damrod. Supply blocked. It's so weird that you can see the circle below the hatch. Looks like a loading bar. Gamrod continues saturating its 2 bases. There is indeed going to be +1 and a Twilight Council. I would bet my left ear this is going to be a blink play. Watch it be wrong now. Oh no. Oh, I regret my life choices. Okay. Twilight's finished. Charge! Charge! You're making charge! No one goes charge in 2020. Exiled! Exiled, why are you doing this to me? He went charge! Guys in the chat! I don't know, man. I don't. We're in uncharted territory. Damrod goes double Evo chamber. I mean, sure. Sure, we're gonna have a 2-base charge. From Exiled. Damrod was pressuring the wall. He's going to back off and face the might of the charge all in. Exiled. Goes for +2 weapons. Force fields are down. The Protoss. I mean, this is great. This is wonderful. The Hydra can't shoot the units. And the Lynx were very lowered in their count. Oh no, Exile's taking the bait into the choke point. The Queens are tanking a lot of this damage. And Damrod cleans up. That's it. The Prism's gonna get overrun. There it is. That Warpin will not finish. GG is called. Damrod! Oof. Okay. In the top right corner. Down 2-0. It's the Teal Toss. Exiled. In the bottom left. As the pink Zerg. It's Damrod. And, Exiled has to face a match point game on Zen against the Zerg. The odds are stacked against him. Sounds out a scouting probe. sees the hatch first. But, like, Exile just keeps tossing his bag of tricks at the Emerald, and it somehow hasn't worked. Hey, guys. What's he gonna do this game? I mean, Damrod might just go for an all-in. That means Damrod won't do anything. Damrod did do a heavy lane pressure in the last game, but... hopefully it's not charge again, because that was just... You don't do that, man. You don't go for the charge all-in. Nobody does this anymore. What is this, 2019? Okay. He's gonna open double adept this time. Damrod took a very timely third. It's gonna march the queens to the front. 10 lings. Under development for a Zerg player. That is a little more than what you need to shut down the Protoss Adepts. I think he's going to try and crack into the wall. But, like... why though? You shouldn't be able to get in. There's the Twilight from Exiled. Its Adepts are rather backed into the corner. Was a kill on the Adept. Alright, so Damrod, I think, is just going to leave these out here for Matt. No, he is going to try and poke in. This isn't going to be successful, but... Exile drops a shield battery. That's a little bit excessive. Fire started for Damrod. He's gonna run his lings back home. Hi, Gildelin. Exiled moves the prism out. Damrod is... he's amassing those lings, man. He's going for melee, Baneling Nest. Does he even have a Warren? No. He does not. Exiled with the DT play. This just hit so late, man. It wasn't even worth remarking on. Like, he's gonna have to back out so far to do the double Archon drop. Damrod's going on the hunt. He's looking for the prism. He's trying to catch the Archons. He didn't quite find it. These guys could not see each other, just for clarity. Picture this tree as like the dividing line between their vision cones. Lings aren't the most efficient way to deal with this, but hey. Exiled cannot take a third under any circumstances right now. He's going into Immortal. He would need to get some, like, crazy shots off. Like, 4 crazy shots off on these Zerglings from the Archons. In order to be able to take a third. Alright, he tried. But now Damrod just runs the Lings across the map, right? He's getting Hydra. Gonna be a Ling Hydra push on the third. He goes after the Archons again. I don't know if I agree with that. I would just go kill the third, and yes, Damrod has scouted this. He had a scouting Ling sitting at the third that he had to lose before. Well, I mean, not before. It survived after the Nexus went down. But he got the scout, is what I'm trying to say here. It's gonna move into a 4th base. But there's nothing here for Exile. You can just go, man. Just go. Well, now there's something. That something is going to be shield batteries, it's going to be another Archon, it's going to be Adepts, it's going to be Immortals. Now? Now is when you want to move out? Okay, apparently not. Woohoo! Prism escapes with a notch of health. The Banelings broadside the Archons. Again, this is previous patch, so they can, like, actually deal damage still. 14 probes go down, and just like that, Exiled is like doomed, man. If this third falls, it's gonna be so far. Okay, you know what? Just 3 Hydra. He went for the smaller grouping of units. All Damrod has to do is back off, regroup. Well, he doesn't even have to do that, technically. Disruptor should be off cooldown. This is just too much micro for him to handle. GG is called. Damrod will close out Week 3 of the AlphaX Apprentice Season 4 in 3-0 fashion, getting the first win on the board for himself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Renegade. I'm gonna find someone wholesome to raid. I gotta take a shower, get something to eat, but you can find me on twitch.tv/Legion in about an hour